Okay, tell me a little bit about what's happening here today.
So we're here at the Food for Less in East Hollywood. They've had plans to close down 5 different Kroger branches, and they're saying it's in response to the hero pay or hazard pay ordinance. Basically, since the pandemic, Los Angeles has said that stores have to pay anywhere from $4 to $5 more to their employees for hazard pay, and other stores like Vons and Target have been doing it. Kroger's basically trying to use intimidation tactics against cities to basically say, hey, if you do this, we're going to shut down stores. There's also some rumors going that like this was probably planned anyways, like they were going to close this store and others. This store closing is going to leave a food desert for the residents of this community, and you know, it's a lower income area, and it's interesting because like you go just up the street and there's a Ralph's that's in like a higher income part of the area, and it's more expensive. Yeah. And it's difficult. We came in flyered the other day, and like residents didn't even know about it, and we're outraged. So we had folks that were like, "Hey, give me some extra flyers so I can pass it around." But yeah, it's really sad, and it's happening here in East Hollywood. There are 2 stores in Long Beach, and then there's a store in Pico Rivera and another one in Slauson that are all closing. And I believe there's also some similar things going on in Seattle as well. So we've got 3 events going on today, one here, one in Long Beach, and one in Seattle, that are all kind of working together. We've got the UFCW out here, groups like Lane, L-A-A-N, that's a group that works closely with them. And then we've been coalitioning with my group, Abra, and other groups such as some of the folks that are in Long Beach with different groups that formed during the summer. Yeah, and so we're just trying to help the workers. We're trying to help the communities, and we also want to help find alternatives, because while we want to do what we can to prevent these stores from shutting down, we also want to try to make sure that we provide for the needs of the community if the stores do shut down. So, you know, we would like to get folks some alternatives. We would like to tell them about alternatives that exist already, but also hopefully try to get in, if the store does close, get in another store that can replace it, that is of the same type. So especially like one that, if possible, would be controlled by the workers directly. That would be the dream goal. So. Right, so like WinCo, which is a workers-owned co-op. Right. Yeah, and we have some individuals who have been kind of in talks with us that do that kind of work, that actually like help fund worker cooperatives. But yeah, WinCo is a good example. There are plenty of others as well. If you go to the San Francisco area, they have like, the Rainbow Grocery and other places like that as well. So.
And I would have been a great show. Good morning, buenos dias. Welcome, bienvenidos to Food for Less. This is Food for Less 362. This is one of the stores that Kroger has announced that it will be closing. During the pandemic, so for the past over a year now, workers at Food for Less and Ralph's, both owned by Kroger, have been risking their lives, their health, the health and safety of their families to provide food to their communities. The communities decided that because of the risks that they've been taking, that these workers deserve an increase in pay. And many communities, LA, South Pasadena, Glendale, Long Beach, Montebello, and many others, Santa Monica, I can't even name them all, but many, many communities within LA County decided to give an increase in pay as a result of these risks that these workers were taking. Soon thereafter, Kroger announced the closure of 3 stores, claiming that they were closing the stores in response to the hazard pay, and they did this to threaten and bully other communities. Then they went around to other communities saying, hey, if you pass hazard pay, we're going to close your stores too. And this was a big lie, a total lie. The stores that they're closing are not underperforming stores, particularly not this store, which makes almost $1 million a week in sales. That's a very high performing store. There are other reasons totally unrelated to hazard pay that they're closing this store, so they are lying in order to threaten and bully communities. Over the last year, Kroger's profit went up by more than 50% to $2.6 billion. $2.6 billion with a B. That's profit. And they are not sharing it with the people who have earned that profit for them. The CEO, Rodney McMullen, makes over $20 million a year. And they cannot increase the pay of these workers on the front lines. It's despicable. Kroger can do better. And we're here to demand that they do better. Because as a community member, they need to do better to stay in these communities. And to then close these stores and deny 250 workers jobs in the city of LA, despicable, totally despicable. So we have a number of people here today. We have several workers who actually work at this store and are here today to speak. So I'm first going to call on Omar Hernandez to tell you his story about what's happening here at this store. So Omar?
Hello, my name is Omar Hernandez, and I've been working at this store for more than 10 years. During the pandemic, it was really hard for us to work because this store, mainly this store, they didn't follow protocols. Most of the time, they didn't close the stores, they didn't keep lines here. We were always in jeopardy working with a big, huge crowd, and I kept telling my managers to close the doors when we can. Sometimes they didn't want to, they didn't ignore me, but as we can see, it was really hard for us. And now that they're closing the store, I'm really mad about it and disappointed because we were the ones here working hard, giving the community food, and for us to just give us that, and I appreciate the hard work we did through the pandemic. It's not fair. They just keep the money, and all we are just asking is just to appreciate us and to acknowledge us that we're here for the community. We're here, the ones who are working hard, and we're here day and night. They want us to be working, we're here. So that's my part of the story.
Thanks, Omar. And then we also have Julian Aguayo. You want to hold your son?
Yes.
This is Julian Aguayo. He also works at this store.
Hello, everybody. I've been working in this Food for Less company for 8 years. I'm going on 9 pretty soon. And it's just ridiculous what the corporate is doing right now, knowing that they're closing my store over a little small amount of hazard pay that we deserve throughout this whole pandemic. Not only that, but knowing that we put our lives at risk since last year, knowing that we made a lot of money and we're still making money this year as well too. And at the same time, they just want to just bully us, treat us like we're nothing, want to close this store down just for 4 little months. Temporary hazard pay. They make it sound like it's permanently, but it's not. So my message to Kroger and to the CEO, Rodney McMullen, is like just stop bullying us, man, because we can't take it no more. Knowing that you're just in your house, on your mansion, or wherever that you are, just relaxing, making so much money while we're here busting our butts off, and knowing that you're punishing us, and we don't deserve this. We really don't deserve this. And that's my message to Rodney McMullen is just stop bullying us, really. Stop.
Thank you, Julian. We also have a number of community members here today. So first, we're going to hear from Karen Ayers, who is the political action chair of the Stonewall Democratic Club.
Hi, my name is Karen Ayers. I'm the political chair of the Stonewall Democrats. And we're here today because we stand by Julian and Omar and hundreds of other grocery store workers who work for Kroger, but they're not valued by Kroger. They're not valued because Kroger is balking at the idea of a temporary hazard pay for these workers. And they're so against it that they are willing to threaten to shut down grocery stores and leave out hundreds of employees on the street without a job, to take away their employment of hundreds of workers. We stand by these workers. I'm a former grocery store worker too, and I know the kind of work they do, but I don't know what they've been experiencing this last year. It's got to be incredibly stressful to be on the front lines, making sure everything is business as usual, that your customers are safe, that you're getting products on the shelves and feeding your community. They deserve the hero pay. Stonewall Democrats stand with Kroger workers, and it's just crazy that the CEO can be making millions of dollars, but he can't shell out a few extra bucks an hour for these workers who are coming in and day out to serve the community. Shame on Kroger. Thank you.
I'm Rabbi Daniel Chorney, member of Clergy Laity United for Economic Justice, CLU Los Angeles Committee. I'm here to support the grocery workers here at Food for Less. As essential workers during this pandemic, they have continued to put their health on the line to keep our communities fed and connected to critical resources. They don't work for Kroger, they work for us, members of this community. As followers of traditions that teach us to pursue justice and equity, to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, and overcome our natural human inclination toward apathy for the plight of the downtrodden, we cannot stand idly by as the blood of our brothers and sisters who work for Kroger and the communities they serve is shed to further enrich those who can stand to share their God-given blessings with others. Shame on Kroger. Kroger donates money in the name of racial equity and food security, yet eliminates jobs for their workers who are primarily people of color, and harming communities who relied on these stores for food and resources during this awful year of pandemic. Kroger's actions against a temporary hazard pay by closing stores is impacting more than 250 workers and their households during this pandemic, not to mention the millions of people who depend on these stores to put food on their tables. No other grocery companies are closing because of hazard pay. Myself and my fellow clergy members at CLU stand in solidarity with the workers here at the Food for Less and all Kroger workers. Thank you.
I'm Skylar Summers. I'm a Latina trans woman. I'm District 6 Neighborhood Council representative for East Hollywood Neighborhood Council, recording secretary, and I'm also the I apologize. I'm the chair of the LGBTQ plus allies committee on the East Hollywood Neighborhood Council. When I was a young kid, Food for Less used to offer the community a shuttle service to their homes if they bought groceries. That's why it surprises me that now they could justify closing this store because they don't want to pay their heroes for the services they have performed. They have risked their lives during a very difficult time. We can't forget the word hero applies to them just as much as it applies to the doctors who have been treating our sick. They gave our community sustenance with a lot less PPE. Yo escucho a la gente en mi vecindad y está muy triste que van a cerrar. No todos tienen un carro para ir a hacer marqueta. Estas personas son nuestros amigos. Hemos hablado con ellos y son como familia. Y cuando dañan a nuestra familia, tenemos que protegerlos. I've heard my people in the community, and they are really sad it's closing. Not everyone has an access to a car to do groceries elsewhere, and getting rid of Food for Less hits everyone hard. These people are our friends. They become people we talk to and see on a regular basis. They are like our family. And when you hurt our family, we have to protect them. These people deserve the pay increase. They didn't deserve for Kroger to put them out. Thank you.
Save our stores! Save our stores! Save our stores! Save our stores!
Yeah, manager's not here. Manager's not here? Yeah, not here right now. No, I'm just here visiting. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we sit here. The gas light's not here. So you guys can probably go see over there.
We'll follow you.
Save our stores! Save our stores! Save our stores! Save our stores! Save our stores!
What's your name?
Store close by. They are now threatened because that store closed and they gave us a CVS. So now we pay more money for less food. We don't have quality food. Black and brown communities are devastated by these closures. So we want to thank UFCW Local 770 for standing up for the people and standing up for the community. How dare they close during a pandemic? That should be applauded. The CEO makes $21 million. They made $2.6 billion during the pandemic, while these heroes in here working risk their lives. How dare they? Shame on them. Shame on them. And we're going to fight and not allow these stores to close. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, and again, thank everybody out here.
Yes.
Are you a worker here? Are you part of the credit union?
No, I'm just part of the community. It's gonna be hurting me because now my family and I we depend on the store, and also my neighbors. There's old ladies that it's gonna be very hard for them to shop, to do their groceries. They can drive, so it's gonna be much harder for them.
Tell me a little bit about why DSA is supporting this effort.
Absolutely. So I'm out here with the DSA-LA, Democratic Socialists of America, and we're here supporting the Food for Less workers that are at risk of being laid off as a result of being granted $5 hazard pay during the pandemic. The city recently granted them that hazard pay, and Kroger has threatened to close several of their Food for Less stores around the city, including this branch right here. So we're out here standing in solidarity with those Food for Less workers who have been a lifeline for our community. In closing these stores, Kroger is the largest grocery store by revenue in the country. They're the 5th largest retailer in the world, and they're going to tell us that it's untenable to pay $5 more in hazard pay when our communities are suffering, when there's a global pandemic going on, when people already have limited access to healthy food at an affordable price. It's going to hurt our community. It's going to hurt those workers. It's going to hurt everybody that lives here. So we're here in support of our community, our neighbors. Many of the workers at Food for Less are Black and brown people that already have enough to deal with without losing their jobs, their ability to contribute to our community. So we're here standing with them in solidarity, and we're not going away.
We got the power. What kind of power? Union power. Who got the power? We got the power. What kind of power? Union power. Who got the power? We got the power. What kind of power? Union power. Who got the power? We got the power. Union